And right now, folks, we're going to jump over to our man, Teddy Kekstadt. We talk to Teddy every Wednesday at 40 past the hour. If you'd like to check out Teddy's outstanding Tiger Forex Report, folks, right under the newsletter tab on the front page of TFNN, you hit that button, you can sign up. It's $97, folks, for a month, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's our man, Teddy Kekstadt. We're going to talk to Teddy. New issues every Monday and updates throughout the week. Check it out, folks. Teddy Kekstadt, good morning.
Good morning, Tommy.
So we got gold, of course, in focus, man. And I wanted to ask you, what you think. We have the dollar. It's been a little bit strong, and I say strong in the context of chopping around near 98. But it's remarkable that we've had no dollar weakness, and gold continues higher. What do you think about this market? If maybe I was wondering that one. You've had a remarkable gold, of course, on quite a run, but early in the year, right, we had that dollar decimation from 110 to 97, 96, but gold really powering higher. What do you think about this market, man?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. We had the dollar index that broke out to the upside this week. But you got to realize the trend has been lower for multiple months, and it's only been for the past few months that it's been more of a sideways kind of bottoming situation. I would not want to say that the swing low last month was the bottom in the dollar index. I think right now we're pressing a correction more than anything else. I mean, we did have one rate cut with supposedly two more looming before the end of the year. Obviously, we have differences of opinions between myself and the consensus on that one, but that's already factored in. So I think what we really have, if you notice, the euro and the pound, the euro is pulled back a little bit, versus the dollar, but not as extreme as, say, like the yen. The yen had a huge breakout to the upside. They're now above the 150 critical area for the BOJ, which is a level they don't want to see the U.S. dollar yen above. Now, the Bank of Japan there is more than speculation that they're going to be hawkish and hike sometime between now and the end of the year. Are they going to do it this month? I would say that's probably just over 50% chance that they may do it this month. I think more likely it will happen in November or December. One of the reasons I'm saying this is because there's a rebalancing of assets going on in Japan. While we're being dovish, they're definitely going on a hawkish basis, and they're rolling a lot of assets, meaning that they're selling off a whole ton of things that they had already had invested in. All the central banks have certain products that they invest in, so they're dumping those securities. So that means that now you have a lot of yen coming on the market to begin with, so you have a high supply for one. And it's kind of like the way I'm looking at it, this rally is a buy the rumor, sell the fact, meaning that until they really raise hikes or do some quantitative hiking, this is a rally to sell, meaning this is giving you your last opportunity for when they do. You'll probably see a big swing. I mean, you see the yen trading right now. Where is it at? Like right now, I think as we're speaking,
yeah. 150, 250, almost 150, 256. Quite a run the last few days.
Yeah, we're almost in the middle of the range today. Like, we took out our upside target level today from the Tiger Forex Report. Now we have a big gap that from Monday's opening into today from last Friday. Now, we were in our range trade zone that we were chopping in and around for months. Now, all of a sudden, we exploded like this. Now, the adage is that all gaps get filled. Let's say that we trade up this to like 154, 55 area, or even just hover around the 152. That means we still should get back to 149, 48 to fill the gap. That's a nice sell-off move. So you got to figure that if they do hike, well, that's negative for the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, especially if we're going to cut. Then you have two interest rates that are fundamentally making the U.S. dollar yen weaker, okay? And in that situation, you should see fundamentally the pricing for U.S. dollar yen should be somewhere around the 145 to 140 level, just off of that alone, okay? So now if we're $10 higher, this is where options come into play. Like, if you're an options trader, you can trade the futures options right from the CME, or you can use the products from the CBOE for the currencies. If the yen continues this rally over the next week or so, which I'm definitely looking for, I'm looking for the setup. If we get up to 155, 156, you're definitely looking at some fantastic option opportunities, because the odds of the market setting a range trade at that level and just hovering there within a couple dollars for even just a few weeks, let alone a few months, is very, very minor. I mean, very, very, very low. The odds of it moving away from that price point by more than $5 or $6 is probably, I would say, in the range of over 60 up to pushing 70%. So that's a very viable place to start to look for. You don't even have to figure out the trend there. You're just looking at a spread. So there's lots of opportunities, sure, I think, for the opportunities. And now, if I'm thinking about this, big money has to be thinking about this. So when you're looking at all these major derivatives that are moving like that, that's why I'm saying this is a buy the rumor. The rumor is they're going to hike, that the market's going completely inversely of what it fundamentally and technically should be doing. So it's basically saying, hey, let them push this extreme. And as this extreme gets pushed, and the closer we get to the next BOJ meeting, we're probably going to see a big move, which is nice. This is the time. Now we're going to start to see some really nice swing trades, especially in one of the biggest currency crosses in the dollar index.
That was a great breakdown, man. I learned so much just in that few minutes. I appreciate it. And yeah, I hadn't, it wasn't even really on my radar. I'm watching the dollar, of course, but boy, quite the pronounced move over the last few days. And sometimes that's, of course, factoring in golds as well. So I like to watch that yen. And folks, check out the Tiger Forex Report. Teddy's got a couple of great webinars as well. You're talking about options, of course. I know you love options, Teddy. Capitalizing on time with calendar stock option spreads and Japanese candlestick patterns right under that services tab. Check that out as well, folks. Hey, what do you think about crude? I know it's kind of a story, $62 and change, 62.35 right now, a little bit of a bounce, but anything changing on crude for you?
It's bouncing around in our critical range. I like the last swing low. I think that if we could probably test the support level there around $60 again. And I think, us seeing 57.50 by, Thanksgiving, I wouldn't doubt, like if I was to flip a coin on direction between now and Thanksgiving, I would assume that oil is going to be at where it's at now, or maybe a few bucks lower than higher. Okay. I think that people are going to get a little break for the holidays, for travel season. So, and you're starting to see some deflation. I went to just a regular grocery store yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. I saw the markdown on things like pasta and pasta sauce and stuff like that, where, an average box of spaghetti, no matter what brand it is, like 2 years ago was like $1.50. Now it's like $3. Well, now it's back to like $1.50, $1.25. Like, I don't know, all of a sudden they literally are marking down the prices by upwards of 50%, and I'm just like, well, this is a big deal. And I know its pastas are cheap to begin with, but I started walking around the store and I started seeing other price points on things that haven't moved in a long time. And I was just looking at the shelf and I'm just like, wow, this has all happened recently. This is not something, and if that hole is going into the holiday, inflation should start to drop. So should oil.
And I think we all like that $3 price tag, man. Can't beat it right now, around that price for gas. Teddy, great education, great conversation as always. Folks, check out the Tiger Forex Report, those great webinars. Have a great week, man. We'll talk to you next Wednesday, Teddy.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.